Am I the asshole for making my daughter miss once-in-a-lifetime events, homecoming and senior prom, and delete all of her social media as a punishment for bullying?
Ooh.
Yesterday, I was informed that my daughter, Sam, was a part of a group of students who bullied another girl to the point that she had to switch schools.
Oh, jeez.
There was a racial aspect to the bullying, which came as a complete shock since my wife and I truly did our best to raise our 3 kids to be kind and honest individuals. I don't believe that a grounding and confiscation of electronics is harsh enough for what Sam did. So I told Sam that she won't be allowed to participate in homecoming or attend senior prom. I also told her that she won't be getting a car for her 18th birthday either. Finally, I told her that she'll have to delete all of her social media accounts with either me or her mom watching. She begged me to allow her to go to senior prom because it's a once-in-a-lifetime event and keep just her Instagram account because it has pictures going back to years that weren't saved anywhere else. I told her that she shouldn't have been a racist bully. My parents are temporarily staying with us while their house is undergoing renovations. They agree that what Sam did was completely out of line and must be punished, but they think that making my daughter miss homecoming and senior prom and forcing her to delete her social media is far, far too harsh. Am I the asshole?
When you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, you see the link, you saw the clip. That's a parenting thing going on, you know what I mean? I don't see or hear that thing that happening as much as I did in the past. And what I mean by that is this. A parent shutting down all the BS. Like, no, we're not doing that. Not in this house. We're not doing that. You're not doing that. You're not going out in public doing that. You're not causing all these issues, you know, and then all of a sudden you get a slap on the wrist and you get to do something that you like. And when the person said that, you know, it was a racial element, and, you know, who's to say the race of the other person? Whatever, right? But I will say this. When a parent was like, we're not these kind of people, so we don't know where you're getting it from. Well, kids pick up stuff from everywhere, right? You can teach them one thing and they'll gravitate to in a different direction. That's just normal. But the principle of this is what I'm really glad to see and impressed by. The principle of, if you mess with somebody to the point that they got to transfer schools, that lets me know the school, the parents dole out more discipline and punishment than the school does. Because the school, you know, was all right with that. The school let it continue to happen. The school left that kid, quote unquote, unprotected because of whatever was going on in that school. And then when they say that the grandparents are like, maybe that's too hard. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not too hard. You know, and that becomes a problem where, in my opinion, grandparents used to be harder on kids than the parents. Grandparents were harder on kids than the parents are, because the grandparents came from a different generation. But with the racial aspect of it, those might be the grandparents that were getting away with a lot of racial things. So it might be par for the course for them to see their grandbaby get away with something, quote unquote, racial. So, you know, if it was to another white person, maybe it's different. You know, maybe the punishment is bigger. Who knows? But the grandparents are a disappointment, you know. And it's not just a racial thing. It's a principle thing. When somebody said, well, you can't go to the prom. Well, I mean, that person is not going to go. That person might go to the prom at another school, but that person had to start all over because of you. Like, and that's the thing about consequences. Actions have consequences. You know, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And the problem in our society is, you know, we're letting people off when a response happens. Now, take this into consideration. Say the parents would have said something like, hey, you know what? You can go to homecoming. You can go to the prom. You stop bullying people. Stop doing this racial stuff because, hey, it's out of hand. And that kid would have went right back to the school and said, well, I bullied one kid to the point they left, so let me bully another. And then that other kid they tried to bully, really beats the brakes off of them. 9 times out of 10, the parents are going to want that kid suspended or expelled for how badly their child got beat up. But at the same time, they would allow that same child to go to the prom and homecoming. You get what I'm saying? So those parents acted responsibly. Like, hey, man, I got to give you the punishment that the school is not going to give you, because I promise you, if this went left, the school would have punished the other person. And nowadays, part of those school shootings were they I won't say revolved, but they were involved with bullying. With bully, a lot of them felt bullied by classmates. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna seek revenge, right? And there comes a point where you gotta let the kids know, hey man, if you do something like this, who knows if your classmate creates a hit list and you're on it? Who knows? What are you gonna say then? What are you gonna do then? And that's a whole nother, can of worms. That's a whole nother thing. And me personally, that's what bothers me as a parent is kids have gotten away with too much. And then they grow up to be kids, they grow up to be adults who quote unquote, or, this kid's got guts, right? Kids got big balls now because they're always pushing the line. And the problem with that is you keep pushing the line with people, and people understand that you don't respect boundaries, they're going to start pushing back. And then when they start pushing back with the same veracity that you push that across them with, then all of a sudden people go from villains to victims. And you gotta nip that in the bud at home, where you go, listen, no, what you did was extreme, so the punishment is extreme. And a lot of people need to really, really think about that, because some of you parents are letting your kids off the hook for stuff, and they think, it's okay. They think they can go out in public and keep doing it. Like, I was looking at a bunch of kids, like carjackings and car robberies, and you could tell these kids are young, teenagers, maybe out of most of them look like they were in high school, but maybe some out of high school. But I was like, I was saying to myself, if I saw somebody breaking into my car and they got the mask and the skinny jogging pants on and the fat cats and the people sagging, what would I do? Would I shoot the kids? I was like, nah, I shoot that engine up. I'll let loose. I'll let a whole clip in that engine, and just go okay, and let them drive off and let it smoke and let it sputter and slowly following them, and call the police, let them get arrested, and let them take their mamas or their dads or their cousins or their aunts or their car, jacked up to the pound, because hey, it was I ain't responsible. They did that in the commission of a crime. I didn't take their lives, but I definitely took the car from them. And they definitely getting locked up, And the reason I thought about that is because I don't know if I told the story a long time ago or not. One of my good friends, somebody tried to carjack him years ago, and he peeped the kids trying to do it, and like he was in the gas station, so he as he's opening when he opens the driver's side door, of course the car unlocks or whatever, and the kid jumps on the passenger side, but he didn't realize my friend saw him already, and he already had his gun on him. And as soon as the little kid opened the door, he shot him, pow, and then he shot him in the shoulder. His friends ran, but and they tried to run to the car, and then he He had a shotgun in the car, so he took the shotgun, he shot the hood. You know, and the kids got arrested, and then they got arrested later on down the block or whatever. But the other one was rolling around on the ground talking about, you shot me, and he was like, I'm gonna sue you. You're not supposed to shoot me. That's basically what the kid was saying. My friend was like, what? Man, shut up. And of course the kid got sent to the hospital, got the bullet out, got arrested, yada, yada, yada. But you got to think about how far those situations go, because some people will be like, you know what? Since you came here to take my life, I'm going to just take yours, little kid. And parents got to tell their kids, like, everybody is not going to respond the same to bullying, man. So it's got to be a harsh consequence, because that mentality could lead you down a bad path, and that bad path could lead you in prison or taking somebody, prison or in a grave, and you might deserve what you get because you don't know how to respect people's boundaries. But y'all tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.